Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. We are back from quite a long hiatus in terms of Purple Rain. We are in this is week 7, right?
Something along those lines. One of the closing weeks.
The closing week. This is the last game we got.
Exactly, the last game we have for you folks.
Yeah. So this is round 13 of the Purple Rain Valorant series. It is the first ever collegiate Valorant series to be featuring only women Valorant players, collegiate Valorant players. And we've been here for quite a while. Like I said, we're in the 7th week. It's been going on for about 2 months now. 13 rounds. We've seen teams win some. We've seen teams lose some. We've seen some crazy comebacks. And more than that, we've seen some upsets as well.
Oh, yeah.
But now we are running down the clock. We're in the final minutes of this Purple Rain round robin.
And with our very own home team, GCU Lavender, to meet one of the matchups today.
Yeah, it's going to be GCU versus the University of North Texas. It is going to be I'm going to say it's going to be a tough matchup. The University of North Texas is the only team right now that is undefeated. They are 12-0 with the roster of Bob, Sage, Akeo, Jelly, and Lilac. I believe it's Bab. I think we got corrected on that one time, so it is Bab. And then Tiana, Hakosuka, Smalu, Honey, and Serial Killer are your GCU 5. But, I mean, it's going to be a really tough matchup for them. Yeah. UNT currently undefeated, 12-0, just 2 rounds ago, taking down the other undefeated team, UCSD Navy, who actually ended up taking a loss to Waterloo in round 12.
Plus, you can also see UW White there now also 12-1. So really, NT is the only crown left to knock down, and it looks like they are potentially just gonna be going into the next stage.
No, I'm definitely thinking that we are going to be looking at a North Texas 13-0 series right now. I actually did not know this. So round 11 is when North Texas took on UCSD and then took down them for the only undefeated spot in the league. And now Waterloo has taken UCSD's second spot at now 12-1, which I was not aware that the University of Waterloo had actually taken that victory over UCSD. So they are definitely looking for a comeback. I think they had a fairly close game against North Texas when they did play them. So we are definitely looking at a interesting matchup going into playoffs, which will start on April 4th.
Yes, April 4th is the date to save, as that is going to be the playoff date. And this is a pretty good look at the teams we're going to be seeing there. I mean,
yeah, and I believe
standings are pretty solid right now.
If I'm not mistaken, it is the top 8 teams. So you're the entire left side of your screen, and then UD Sphinx and Mizzou Magenta are currently the teams that are going to be in that round.
Well, if I'm reading this right, it looks like Mizzou and also has a game left to play, as does GCU Lavender.
Yes.
So they actually could flip.
Yeah, so if Mizzou, depending on who Mizzou plays in this round right now, if they were to take a loss, Lavender would actually play a play-in game against Mizzou, or I believe that's how the tournament is set up, and they play a play-in game to then take Mizzou or take their spot in playoffs.
Yes.
So that could be a very interesting game. I think we've actually seen that game happen before. It was also a very close game. It was a 2-1 game to Magenta, to Mizzou. So
it would definitely be a tight run back if it does come to that. But before we get there, obviously GCU does have NT to face up against, and like we were saying, that seems like a pretty overwhelming matchup indeed.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with our GCU players earlier, and I've learned that one of the North Texas players is actually signed to C9.
Really?
So they are a certified professional Valorant player in college, which is impressive.
That is very awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, that's up there with the names like Zekin, who currently plays for Sentinels. I mean, Oxy, who plays for C9's main Valorant team, is only 18 years old. So to be signed to a professional organization and be a college student is nothing to scoff at. That is a lot of work that they have put in to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder UT has come this far. They definitely have an impressive roster.
Yeah, but I mean, we've talked for just a little bit. we did announce, so our first map is going to be Bind. We are going to get right into this game. It is going to be GCU's pick, I believe, is on this Bind map. And then second map will be Icebox, which North Texas, they absolutely love that Icebox map. But right now we're looking at Jelly is going to be our entry on the Rays.
I also do want to call out, just while we're on the note, that GCU is going to be running offense first all 3 maps tonight, assuming we go to a map 3 situation, which again is hard to tell considering how far UT has gone this so far.
Absolutely. Sage going to be on that Sky still, even after a few nerfs, has been a absolutely phenomenal agent to be played in. So the thing I am definitely curious about here is the Cypher pick. Cypher can be swapped out for KJ. I know a lot of meta comps will actually run Chamber on this map just because there's a lot of longer angles, and on defense in particular, Chamber can be very oppressive on a site hold. The Brims definitely do come through on both teams, and
classic pick.
Yeah, the curiosity that I'm seeing here on the GCU side is what I've always kind of talked to them about. Viper on this map is very good. There are lots of horizontal lines on this map that can block off multiple entry points.
Yes.
And UNT is going to run the Viper Brim, which is the classic combo on this map. So they're running double controller, but GCU is going to be running double initiator with the Sova in the Sky. So they're looking for maybe a little more intel, a little more ability to play aggressive onto the team rather than trying to stop the sight lines. They're looking to take the fights instead, which I think is definitely an interesting idea, especially against UNT, who is 12-0, has proven that they have the gun skill to take these rounds.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely curious to see what GCU tries to do to maybe break the sight lines and play a little bit more cautious going into these the pushes, since they are attacking for these first 12 rounds.
Yeah, cautious is definitely a good strategy, but I also think sooner or later you're going to have to get a little weird with it if you want to dethrone a team that has remained undefeated this far into the competition. I mean, again, 12-0 is no number to laugh at. And I have also noticed that they honestly usually just take defense by default every round I've seen them play in. And so I'm not surprised that they're doing that yet again for all 3 games, no less. Because I think they're just that confident in their ability that they don't want to build a lead on offense.
No, absolutely. And I mean, defense is objectively like the easier role in this game. Like when you're playing defense, all 5 attackers have to push into you.
Yeah.
Now, the reason defense can be hard is because there are 2 sites that you have to watch.
Yes.
So your team is split between the 2.
Yes.
But I still think that if you play correctly and you're not looking for early picks, you're not putting yourself into the sightlines of where 5 players will be looking at you, and you maybe play corners where they then have to swing you one by one to push, I think you can definitely hold a site 1v5 correctly.
Yeah.
But
I do think like offense might at least this is what I kind of see in a lot of teams' decision making, might like on the surface level seem easier just because you have the multiple win conditions of either wiping out the defense or just getting the plant down.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't necessarily have to split your team on offense, whereas you definitely do on defense. But like you said, I think when you have the really solid team synergy and the skill to hold down both sides, defense like becomes even easier. And I think we've seen that NT definitely has that skill and that team synergy.
Yeah. I think the big thing with defense versus attack, the reason why attack is kind of curious is because they have to use a lot of util to try and take a site.
Yes.
Whereas defense, you then use a lot of util to try and retake the site.
Yeah.
So then defense is using their util later on in the round for the final half when bomb is already planted and all they have to do is play the gunfight.
Right.
Hello, Bob.
And absolutely, saving your resources is just such an important aspect of this game.
Around the world. That is spinning. Wow, that is a lot of DPI.
I mean, heck, that goes as much for util as it does for really any aspect of econ. because as we know, it's like even if you're losing in the early rounds, that just means you can save
Yeah.
to take games later. And that is, but we've usually seen NT just flip that on its head, just take the first several rounds and then keep on with it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been at least 2 or 3 rounds I've watched where they just won the first 3, dropped 1, and then swept the entire rest of the game. And so, obviously, I'm sure the folks at GCU are going to hope that it doesn't come to that, but that might not be the case.
Yeah, so Bab spinning is actually not intentional.
Okay, I thought they were just playing around.
So right now at UNT, they're in a thunderstorm.
Oh.
So they may be dealing with some
DQ win. DQ.
It won't be that bad.
I
don't.
know. I know.
I don't expect them.
Oh yeah.
I gotta be honest. I think if anything, they just try and 4v5.
Yeah.
if anything.
That would be funny.
It would be. But yeah, right now, University of North Texas is dealing with a large storm, so they may be having some disconnect problems. We may be seeing tech pauses a lot more than we normally do. It happens. Also, I'm curious. GCU's Wi-Fi right now is having some issues with Riot servers.
Okay.
Where the game just doesn't like to load.
I see.
It happens with Valorant and it happens with League. So the server, like for UNT, their server will be absolutely fine, but for us, it's like
we'll have
300 ping.
Yeah, we'll have more tech pauses, and those tech pauses will be longer.
Exactly. It's literally a battle of ping versus disconnect.
Yeah.
So this could be a one for the books.
I say, maybe just hash it out over some RPS. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just I don't know, play a Clash Royale match. To see who
change
wins
us to an
game.
anything goes brackets.
Yeah. We're actually gonna play a game of the classic Pokemon trading card game, like actual cards. Whoever wins that matchup wins the game.
Yeah, it's a
BO3.
CatchMeInChess.com. I don't know.
True. Chess is always like one of those games where it's like, if neither of you really know how to play it, you can play it and it'd be like the funniest thing ever. But if one of you knows just a little bit more, it's just an absolute stomp.
One of my friends put on a chess invitational for just like amateur players who we got 600 ping.
Bab has 600 ping? Smalu has 600 ping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. So it's literally a battle of ping versus disconnect.
Okay, so keep that in mind throughout our analysis.
So if you just randomly hear us go, oh, she teleported, it is because she literally teleported.
As I said, keep that in mind with our analysis. Caveats of one team might just be DCing all the game, the other team is at 600 ping
around the map.
Anyways. While we're filling space here. It's good to mention that we are powered by Rockstar, both GCU Esports and Purple Rain as an event itself. That is where we get our prize pool from. We could not be doing it without them. Just keep that in mind while we're going to be waiting here for a while. Back to my anecdote from before. He ran a chess invitational for amateur players, and that included me. And I knew nothing. Nobody knew anything. There was one person who had actually been playing on chess.com.
Yeah.
So all I did was spend an afternoon looking up what openings even are, not even what the best ones. I was like, the Queen's Gamer, that sounds funny, and then I got third just from looking at what openings even are. I actually might have been second. I don't remember.
Have you seen Queen's Gambit, the show?
No.
So there's this show it's just about what is her name? It's
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she phenomenal actress.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved her in this series, but it's basically just about her in the 1980s. Being this chess prodigy, and she just goes on to be the #1 player in the world, and it's just
awesome.
it's just a phenomenal story. But I feel like chess is one of those things where it's even if you don't play it, you can still relate to it because it's just it's a simpler competition. Plus, it's like golf where nobody really yells, and it's just soothing.
It's have you seen Whiplash?
I have seen. It's the complete opposite of that.
Oh no! I was just I'm making an analogy. No, I'm making an analogy. No. I'm making the analogy of in Whiplash, drumming is kind of just a general metaphor that anyone can apply to because it's the most easy to understand instrument. Physically, you're wow, that looks really hard.
Yeah.
Even if you know nothing about percussion at all, you can just go whoa.
I only watched Whiplash 3 months ago or something.
Really?
That. It's really weird because I was always into movies, but I was one of those people that was I don't want to take the time. 2.5 hours is a long time to just sit down and watch a movie. So I just don't want to do this.
Yeah. I feel like Whiplash isn't that long.
It's like an hour.
I thought it was like an hour 45.
Like 90,
Yeah.
98 or 90, 110-minute movie.
Yeah.
But it's still like.
Oh, here we go.
A decent bit.
Are we back? Speaking of speaking of a Queen's Gambit.
Looking at loadouts real quick, I think it's basically just classics and util. The pings are back to normal. We'll see how long that actually lasts.
Pull that back up. I want to check.
Hold on, the fight is happening. Sage is going to take the early fight. Sage and Bab going to both grab picks.
Did they just stroll up to spawn? Did I read that right?
More or less. They just kind of peeked me long and it worked. Hakosuka is able to take out Sage, who was more or less 1 HP. Bab is still in this corridor. They know that she's sitting in here. That bot is not going to find her out. That one, oh, it is going to grab it off the bounce, though.
I said they know she's there, but the question is, does she take this 1v3? Looks like she will.
Akeo on the flank, though, is able to find in Jelly before the plank gets down, is able to find Hakosuka in elbow.
My question was, will she take that 1v3? The answer was she will not need to. Her teammates were on point. Was that round straight 4-0? Yep, indeed. Oh, no, 3-0.
I was like, where are we going? Nortex, GCU was able to take 2.
Yeah.
Get 2 kills on that round.
Which is decent, but they're going to need a lot more in this next round if they want to keep up, because we have, as I've mentioned, we have seen how far NT can spiral very fast. Or snowball, I guess would be the better term.
Yeah, I was like, Spiral's like going...
Spiral's for what we might be doing.
11-3 and then losing the game. Loud.
Yeah.
They're going to push heavy, but Sage is going to be able to get 3 with that Bulldog, and that is brutal.
Brutal is the word for it, Evan. That is not what you want to see if you are on Lavender's side right now.
Nope, and Bab is pushing up. Not even pushing up. They're playing the perfect way that they need to. I mean, Jelly's in this corner. Oh, they're actually going to push back off of the cubby. That was actually a really good spot for Jelly to be sitting, especially still having satchels, because she can get one and probably satchel out of there, no sweat. But it might just be them looking to give Sage an ace here after getting 3 down long. Here both. Going to go back, but no. They're still sitting in this corner, and that is going to be a slide through, a 4K for Sage, and Bab is going to get the 5th.
Yeah, I was going to mention Sage almost getting that ace, just one off, but just
personally, if I was Bab, I would have died there for the ace.
Oh,
but that's just me. They're playing competitive. They're playing how they should. Aces don't matter in a competitive sense as long as you're winning.
And a flawless round does. So it's like,
that's true as well, because, I mean, now they've got
not even
really
just for
good econ going in.
Not even just for econ, but also for mental.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Keep those KDAs up.
Yeah, right now it's still tough though, because North Texas had a really good buy round 2, so they can actually easily contest this. Oh, Hakosuka got the first pick.
I was like, Sage was almost about to mow down Fish in a Barrel once again.
I was literally about to go on a rant about how this is still an easily winnable round for North Texas with the weapons that they do have, and then Hakosuka is able to just kind of raise hell.
All right, looks like Honey had sight on him.
Spike planted.
Okay, Spike is planted. They're up 5-4. Looks like GCU might have a fighting chance in this round.
It is still anybody's round, though. North Texas, absolutely. But Hakosuka able to find Lilac. Jelly going to get the trade on to Smalu.
I don't know. It feels like that's a pretty decent trade, keeping GCU Lavender with the lead. There go. Wow, Hakosuka and Tiana taking 2 more picks.
You actually mentioned this at the beginning of the game. The way that they win this is by playing how nobody else plays. And in no way am I calling GCU an iron team. let me finish.
Okay. Speak your truth.
The big thing that people always say in this game is that if an Immortal were to go into an iron game, they would actually struggle a little bit. Because the consistency that you see in, in an Immortal Radiant lobby, you wouldn't see in lower lobbies. It's just more randomized.
Yeah.
So. And that's where I was going with that. I was in no way calling GCU an iron team. I was saying that what they need to do to win this is to not play consistently at all and do the dumbest thing possible.
Yeah,
Like,
you were calling them an iron team for purely metaphorical purposes.
For a metaphorical sense, I needed to call them iron. It was no hate against them. I am friends with all 5 of their players. And if you and if any of you feel like I called you an iron player, I did not. I'm sorry.
And if you do, I mean, you can come to the other room.
Oh, honey, actually gonna get an early pick on the stage through the Cypher cage. That's actually a really good pick, especially onto the.
Oh, but it looks like Bab might have sight on a few of them in just a second.
Akayo's able to get one. Jonna's gonna get the.
Okay, they were taking some nice trades for a second there, but Jelly more than caught up, bringing this to a 3-1 game. Lavender, I will say, still has a fighting chance considering NT has pretty low health on a couple of their agents, but I mean, you got to plant that spike pretty soon, and it's... Okay. And I mean, hey, if you're that mad about Evan calling you iron, you can always come over to the next room. We are right next door.
Please don't. I'm gonna see like all 5 of them peek around the corner like it's a Scooby-Doo skit. You know what I'm talking about, where they like peek around the door and they're like heads on top of heads. Yeah. Who do you call it iron?
No, there's a tweet about fighting games that I love a lot that I sometimes reference when I'm working FFF. That is something to the effect of like, to truly make it in competition, you either have to be so good that you are impossible to read, or you have to be so bad that you are impossible to read. And sometimes I'm like, I was like, I don't know if I should have said that during this person's game. I was like, whatever. I live in the same hall as them. They can come over and smack me up anytime they want. Speaking of smacking up, it is already going to be an exciting round.
I saw. Okay, Lilac did take out. I was looking up top, and I couldn't really see any of the white missing. And I was like, I saw Lilac just get hit in the leg with a bullet.
It's the tiniest little sliver. I was like, the tiniest little sliver.
I would be very cautious here. Jelly getting the collat onto that. Honey is able to find Sage.
Those are good trades. Okay, GCU is taking good trades here.
I thought that was going to hit all 3. Cyril's 1 on box, and through the box, that is going to be the 4th.
GCU's trading nice early game and then kind of just getting wiped by whoever's left on NT's team.
I mean, Jelly's 10-2.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, Jelly usually just cleans up after like 2 of their teammates trade. So 10-2 in round 6. That's rough.
10-2 as a duelist on defense.
Yeah,
is scary. Because if you're doing that on defense, just wait till their whole purpose in life is get in your face.
Oh yeah.
Jelly may end up going barely positive here, but you know that her teammates are following up and going to do damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gonna take a tiny little shot there. 55 HP to the chest.
Yeah, I am no stranger to casting games where the support ends up going like 20 and 10.
Yes, I love Snipe.
Whoa, whoa.
He's gonna get picked out by that dog there. The ult comes through, finding 2.
All right.
These players may get caught out. Honestly, their best play right now is TP. They don't know it, but their best play right now is to TP out. They've got to be careful though, because these 2 players with bomb are going to meet Jelly, who
has been wiping them every round. So.
Oh, I'm finding both. That is bomb down.
Now
These 3 players are now going to TP, but it's still
Sage very low health also. And we I was about to say, Tiana does have an ult on deck, and now she's gone.
I thought Jelly, I didn't think that was Sage that got that kill from TP. I thought Jelly got it off of the double satchel, and I was like, holy crap. But yeah, GCU is going to call a timeout right now. We're 6 rounds in. North Texas is looking absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
And I think kind of like what I was saying early on, they're getting caught out by the lack of sightline breaking. A lot of what's happening is they're pushing into a site that they have to flash through.
Right.
But all the enemy has to do is move behind a box and then come back out from that behind that box, and they get like 2 or 3 free picks.
Yeah. And it's exactly like I was telling you, Evan, that they pretty much drop 1 or 2 games in the early rounds and then kind of just keep rolling with that momentum the rest of the way. That's probably why this timeout was called, to try and interrupt that any way we can, especially because they can. Especially because, like I said, a couple flawless rounds to the face early on, it's got to hurt the mental just a little bit. So hopefully they're recouping now and getting that strategy going. Like you said, maybe do something about those sight lines. that they've been losing thus far.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't even know if they can do a whole lot more with the sightlines that they have. Brim, I don't.
I mean, you said yourself they were playing just as they needed to in those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, the struggle though is that Brim is one of the few controllers that doesn't recover a smoke through the round because he gets 3 to start. So to break the sightlines early on requires all 3 smokes. Like if you're looking at the A side of the map right now, you have to place 1 U-Haul, 1 triple, and then 1 in heaven.
Right.
Depending on how you want to push, and that's all 3 of your smokes gone, and then you get nothing else for post plan. So it's very tough to play a single Brim on this map just because there's so many sightlines you have to break just to not have smokes left in your post plan situation.
Yeah, speaking of Brim, I do believe NT's has their ult up. GCU Lavender, of course, sitting on 2 as well. Hopefully that is going to, hopefully for them, it's going to help them a little bit in this next gunfight, which Jelly seems all too eager to start already. Serial getting tapped, looks like once or twice, but they're just shooting back and forth. And 2 down already. GCU starting to lose the trades just a little bit.
30 seconds left.
Still a 3v3, but
yeah,
these players able to find 2. Now
that's
just serial killer in heaven.
That's the thing. Against a undefeated team, you're only taking trades like positively if you remain ahead. If you are actually even, that is a trade you have just lost.
Serial killer able to find Jelly, but with 10 seconds left and bomb in sight, it's going to be tough. Just going to try and save. Brim no Molly. I don't think Viper has Mollies either to try and get this kill.
Yep.
So
Hunkering
is just going to stay alive.
Hunkering down was definitely the play there, yeah.
That becomes a lot less viable, especially, it's actually lucky that neither of them had util up because you're stuck in that corner. And all you have to do is do simple trigonometry to be like, oh, hit this wall, and then it lands there, and they're dead.
Ugh. Sorry, I had a visceral reaction hearing the words simple and trigonometry rubbing up against one another.
Sorry, geometry.
Yeah.
No, so this is a triangle.
No, it was trigonometry. You were right. It's just it's like, oh, just gave me a pain back in high school, and I'm getting all that coming back to me now.
I've technically taken it twice.
Really?
Technically. I had to take Calc 1 in high school and in college because transfers didn't.
I never took calc. I took stats, and the first day of school, our professor was like, "Hey, who is here?" Because they didn't want to take calc. Every hand in the class.
I've taken both.
Yeah, stats is pretty easy. At least it was for us. But I guess it was a COVID year, so nothing's really that easy.
True.
Speaking
of,
that's
actually the most factual thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Speaking of nothing's ever really that easy, it looks like Lavender's having a tough time finding their approach here, and I don't really blame them, considering NT is pretty locked in on the site that they are seemingly trying to push here.
See, and there's that triple smoke that I was talking about, and now the Brim smokes are pretty much gone for the rest of the round. Sage getting 1 onto Tiana in that smoke. Jelly able to find Hakosuka. Not quite able to find Serial Killer. Honey gets taken down. Serial is able to find Jelly. Ult comes out. And that is just going to be round number 8 for North Texas.
Giving Sage the defuse here. Definitely more than enough time to get that done. Whew. What a round.
Yeah, it looked like a good push, but
definitely the closest GCU has gotten to taking one since their first win.
The one they actually took. The big thing there was they kind of pushed maybe a little too far off of what they had. Bomb was down, and Tiana tried to push into the smoke where Sage was already sitting. And it kind of just gave them an early lead. It allowed Jelly to jump onto truck without too much worry. And that just kind of allowed them to keep the pace and the numbers advantage that they had.
Smoke's down.
Now, North Texas is actually just going to take an early fast flank. Checking B, nothing there. They know it's A. Viper ult going to get popped off of that call. And now...
And the gunfight begins with Sage and Jelly both taking picks. I mean, that is not really a surprise here. Those two have definitely been some MVPs as far as these gunfights go. And GCU is going to try and rotate around a little bit, but it looks like they're about to be caught up in that hallway already.
Yeah, but well, bombs down.
Yeah.
And now it's actually...
One enemy remaining.
All right.
Yeah, it's...
They finally took a few picks, but it was just too late, and the defense takes yet another round.
Yeah, I always think of it like when bomb is down, they're like... North Texas, I think, is actually playing this very well because...
Which, obviously.
Because, well, yeah, obviously.
Go ahead, sorry.
The thing I always think of is like, if you get bombed down, it's a lot riskier as a defensive player to try and push up and get more picks and guard the bomb than it is to just push back and continue defending what you have. But with North Texas, they feel so comfortable in the situation that they have that they can push up and keep that defense because, you know, they're 7 rounds up. They have the guns. They have.
That's really.
They know that they have the gun skill to win.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Sage got a partial blind, and GC was not able to pick her off. It seems like these utils are being put to pretty good use. It is just a matter of taking these picks when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, the toughest thing right there was KJ's bot was actually, like, I don't know if I would say in the wrong corner, but in the wrong corner because it's discovering that flanking player too late.
Yes.
And we saw that right there, right? The flank comes through, and all Jelly has to do is tank one turret shot, 12 damage to get a free pick onto GCU. Well, Honey actually gonna grab Bab.
That does bring up Lavender 2-3-2.
That's in sight. So now they've kind of got a collapse on here in a 3v2.
30 seconds left.
Bombs down. They've just got to play these together.
Nice
now they grabs
from
Lilac.
Tiana.
And now the collapse comes through. Honey's going to swing off the contact and going to grab that. That's going to be round 2 to Lavender.
There you go. That was a very nice way to just go slow and steady towards the end of that round. Really not make sure to push up too much. Because like I was saying, once they get even the slightest advantage, trades all start swinging in their favor.
Yeah. I'm actually impressed. Serial Killer 5 and 9 right now, but able to like consistently grab one pick in these rounds. Like has found Jelly their top frag 3 of those 5 times or 4 of those 5 times, I think. So these players are like finding the kills that they need. It's just it's like the consistency that they're looking for right now. They need to find a way to read North Texas, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Yeah,
I mean, consistency is key in really any competition. I mean, you can see that's how North Texas has gotten up to be undefeated 12-0, maybe 13-0 after today because they are so consistent in their ability to just shut down these teams well on defense. Just a little bit of action going, but again, GCU Lavender does know to not want to push in too hastily because when they do, they just might get swung out. But Sage is going to take a 3v1 here. Nobody's still picking up those picks. Again, GCU Lavender needs to keep their heads cool if they want to make it out of this round.
I'm actually going to grab one on a wall bang before getting taken out by Tiana.
Yeah.
And now the TP comes through this A side, but that's what I'm talking about. When you are so confident in your teammates and your gun skill, you don't even need to over rotate until the bomb gets planted. And like that's the retake I was talking about, because now it's still a 2v2 with the rotate coming through onto the third. Hakusuka able to get Akeo on that pick. Yeah. I thought there was a headshot onto Hakusuka, but now Lilac finds Honey.
With the bomb almost down, GCU is looking like they're going to have a lot more of a fighting chance this round. NT is, however, about to make this retake push now.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Able to find these important kills. And able to find 3! Wow. What a great, absolutely phenomenal play from Serial Killer there. Waiting out. Waiting for those 2 players to try and push the KJ lockdown rather than waiting for her to peek. That was absolutely phenomenal game sense from Serial Killer in that position.
With the last round before the half, NT has the opportunity to make this a 9-3 divide here at halftime. But it is a big question, though, because, I mean, we have seen GCU now swinging away from the back foot. And if they can get up to 8-4 going into halftime, they might be feeling a little bit more confident than they were at that timeout.
GCU is really focusing on this B side, and it's not a bad idea because they're playing. Well, I've always talked about this on Bind. Playing the portal or playing the teleporters can always be a very important aspect on this map. I feel like not a lot of teams like do rotates fast through the teleporters. We've actually seen GCU do quite a bit of that, where it's literally they'll push up B long as much as they want until the blind comes through. And Smalu getting the early kill into Sage, and this could just be the free B site. But this is a great play for GCU. They're not going to play it as aggressively as they might have early on. The hold comes through. Bob finds a nasty spray.
Give me a corpse.
Give me a corpse.
Give me that.
Give me a corpse.
Give me that.
Oh, the trades come through. They're actually gonna find.
Oh.
They're actually gonna find 3 players on that, and now in a 3v1 last round, GCU Lavender, they've got the util to maybe keep the site 2 post plant denying ultimates. Lilac push comes through.
Yeah, Lilac is definitely no slouch. They might be able to take this 2v1 now.
Now that is a tough kill on the Smaller. That is a phenomenal ult in that scenario.
One enemy remaining.
All right, now is the time for Lilac to...
I'd be surprised if a Molly doesn't come out. Yeah, that's going to be Molly onto that corner.
Yes,
but they don't realize that it's not a good Molly.
Oh.
Serial Killer able to lock down that 4th round, and now it's 8-4 going into the second half.
Serial Killer coming out like the MVP.
That's what I'm saying.
I was about to mention, I was like, now would be a good time to start getting that spike 2 half if you want to really pressure GC to walk in. But like you said, Serial Killer playing around that Molly just a little bit to fake out and take that run for GCU. Again, 8-4 going into half, and GCU now on the defense. That is going to be a little tough because they might not have a good amount of time to adapt to how NT wants to play this offense.
Yeah, and I mean, the GCU team is looking a lot better right now. And like I was mentioning earlier, Serial Killer been having, like, was 5-9 earlier, but still was playing consistently. And right now, that's like, the consistency has almost confused North Texas. And she's been able to find these picks early on, like these like game-changing picks as they go through the rounds.
Okay, now we're going to be seeing how GCU plays this very first round of defense, already getting stunned. Woof. Kind of just swinging there.
Oh, Bab is going to get Tiana early on.
That is the team captain of Lavender down already.
Smoke's down.
And the creator of this event, actually. However, bomb is down. That is already so fast from NT. We honestly, a lot of times where NT, even when even when GCU would take rounds, their spike was planted so late. So to see NT already moving so much faster.
Play very careful here. Not able to find the kills. Sage gets one. Lilac gets a trade. Taylor is able to find Sage. Akio gets the kill on the Honey. And the almost knife comes through.
Oh.
And that could have been absolutely...
nearly a flawless round for NT. Like I was saying, they've planted that spike so much faster. It is already looking like they're going to be playing this offense a lot more aggressively than GCU Lavender had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen our disconnect high ping teams yet. I was kind of hoping.
We've been having a very normal game of Valorant.
I was ready for the laughs that we would get from seeing these players TP across the.
I've said just clipping some stuff from these streams alone would make some good content. We gotta get the team on that.
Oh, I'm sure it will be at some point. Oh, Jelly's gonna grab Smalu early on, and that is tough as that's the Smokes players down right off rip.
Spike planted.
Oh, and Sage once again with that Bulldog. That is brutal. Oh, but the kill comes through.
One enemy remaining.
That's just going to be another, again, almost flawless round, but these players are finding these 1 picks here and there. but it's not. It's really just not enough.
That's what I was about to say, Evan. It's going to be important to get those 1 picks, but it is not nearly enough to bridge this gap, especially as NT is now 10-4, winning both of their offense rounds so far. It is hard to imagine that that momentum will switch up.
Tiana, I saw that comment about your mouse coming off the desk. I don't know, up your sense or something.
Cope.
I will find you.
Yeah, keep the copium going.
Yeah.
Hope you got the bottle right next to you.
What you call cope, I call hope. All right.
Oh wait, that could be a big nade from Hakosuka. Actually,
Could
not
be.
going to.
But
Sage
it-
gets hit a little bit with it.
Yeah.
That's honestly the best player that you could get hit with that because she's the only one that can't heal.
Yeah.
Call goes out.
Hey, some damage is better than no damage. And
Oh,
now,
2 onto
wow,
Hakosuka.
Okay. Good picks from Hakosuka so far. Let's see if she can pick up a few
Saw
more.
the third. Not quite going to get the kill on a Lilac. Oh, and that's finding 3
Okay.
and now 4v2. These
Getting taken out by Bab, but I mean, not after a pretty strong show and kind of clearing the way for Lavender.
serial killers still on this site. Could potentially have a disgusting lockdown. Don't think she finds it.
Wow.
Finds it! Oh
two!
my! What
Wow.
a spray transfer from Bab onto Jelly and then back to Bab. That was
Ooh.
actually that was beautiful.
Practically on 1 HP by the end of it, too. That was a close call that Serial Killer clutched up for GCU Lavender. 10-5, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
I
I gotta be honest.
I can admit, they're keeping
This is
it
a close. This is the good
Yeah,
game.
I was gonna say, I can admit, they're
I
keeping
mean,
it much closer
the
than
scoreline may not say it, but when you're seeing a 12-0 team go up against a 5-7 team, you're expecting a little bit more of a gap.
That's what I
all.
That's what I was about to say, Evan. I was like, I can admit, this is a lot closer
It's like
than
a-
I thought it would be.
But being honest, UCSD lost to North Texas 10-5
Yeah.
in their first game. So
13-5, you mean.
13-5
Yeah.
UCSD.
Yeah, so all GCU Lavender needs is one more round.
Spike planted.
Yep. Stun doesn't come through. 4v5 retake. Tiana finds Jelly on a wallbang, but I don't know how Lilac wasn't spotted though.
Oh, just completely wiped out by NT pretty much all at once. Nice taking 2 picks, but again, we can only say so often. It's just not going to be enough going into that round. But maybe this next one they're going to have a better shot. We are actually seeing GCU Lavender call another timeout. That
I'm
is
not quite
really no
sure.
surprise.
I'm not quite sure how Lilac got caught out, didn't get caught out there, because Jelly was on the outside of U-Haul as 2 of the players pushed through. The recon dart came through. They sprayed through the wall and got the kill.
Yeah.
And I think they must have been able to get the kill without fully pushing into U-Haul, because I think Lilac was sitting in the little cubby and was able to get the picks as they swung through. But yeah, I think if they find Lilac there, that completely flips, because instead of being down, even if you get the trade, even if you lose 1 going onto that, you're getting their frag and their smokes just like that. So definitely they're playing well. I think a lot of the times of what's happening, they're not fully clearing their corner, or the GCU team isn't fully clearing their corners, so they're missing these easy picks onto these players. So I mean, if you notice that Lilac's there, all you got to do is you swing crouch and it completely throws off their crosshair and you get that kill early.
Because really, 1 or 2 more picks per round would be enough to help Lavender keep in the game.
Getting more kills is one way to win this game. That
Yeah,
is true.
yeah. I was like, not to say the very most straightforward thing possible, but if you kill the opponent, they will die.
If you play Valorant better,
Yeah.
you win the game.
It's like if you kill the opponent, they will die. Good piece of trivia for you there.
But yeah,
My point was more so just that it's close enough that as long as they are keeping these rounds a little closer in terms of kill deficit, it won't look so impossible for them to not have this game end in 2 rounds.
I mean, swinging. Early ult gets popped, but actually he's gonna find 1. Hakosuka with a nade kill though. Great
Okay.
kill there.
Spike planted.
Jelly able to find Serial Killer on the flank. Lilac gets one. Bab gets the other.
Again, just one per round.
And I don't think any oh, they're on defense, so and they were
Saving it.
Yeah, that's the hard part about pushing through that teleporter is defense. Is you obviously can't see that I'm pointing, but up into A main, you have your attackers right there, and if you're coming right here and the other attackers are already pushed up into showers, all you have to do, you just rotate back through and you completely pinch off that defense. So maybe a little too aggressive on GCU side. I think they can play a little bit more passive and keep these rounds. Because that's actually, I mean, that's what they did the round that they won. They backed off completely from A, forced North Texas to go to B, and then Serial Killer was just there with the util set up to keep the hold. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. They just have to not let these picks come through.
All right.
Dog's gonna come out. They're just gonna let B get taken. Akeo's still on this A side. Probably gonna have a really good flank actually if this goes the way I think it does. Tiana's just keeping hold. Sage gonna get a kill on the Serial Killer.
Spike planted.
The kill's not coming through. Bab actually getting two. The swing off the Cypher ult. And now the site is pretty much locked down. It's going to be needed, and Miracle is going to be needed, especially with Brim ult still up. They mean North Texas just back off and play passively.
Yeah. And especially considering how long this clock has been ticking now, Evan. I mean,
already. And it's also last round.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, Tiana's actually going to find Bab, but with the time ticking, the Viper mollies, the Brim ult's still up. That is going to be the end of game one. North Texas winning 13-5 on Bind.
Prepare for hellfire.
It was a close game.
They heard us. They heard us say that Lavender needed one more round.
They did. They did. We needed one on the. We needed to know that they could win on defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like we were saying, they played a lot better than we had maybe expected them to
Oh
play.
yeah.
By far, at least in my opinion.
What do you think that's attributed to? Do you think maybe UT's map knowledge, maybe just being caught off guard by the different play style? What is it?
I think that's probably part of it. I think the last two teams they played were fairly higher up in the bracket.
Consistent
so
and conventional.
They were more like, we play like this, we know how to play like this. So maybe they're more accustomed to just playing like higher level teams. But yeah, I think what the rounds were attributed to was GCU was doing stuff that nobody would really expect. Like that one round where Serial Killer gets Jelly and Bab as they come through hookah. Sitting deep in that corner, not very common when you're trying to hold a site 1v2, because you're gonna get picked off ideally if you get that first kill. But Abel just gets caught. The Jelly and Bab get caught out by that, and it actually becomes a 1v2 clutch for Serial Killer.
That was a very strong round. The ones that Serial Killer was able to clutch up.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely phenomenal from these players. And before we get into Icebox, we go into Icebox, which is going to be UNT's pick. But I think right before we get into that, we'll go to a quick 3-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Purple Rain.
Welcome back, everybody, to Purple Rain. We are going to be going into Game 2 of this final round of the Round Robin Series. Of course, we are not very far from the playoffs, and this is a somewhat decisive round here because GCU does have the potential to jump ahead and make it to secure a spot in playoffs, depending on kind of what happens with a few other teams. Meanwhile, UT themselves are NT is undefeated and are looking to
pretty.
Yeah, looking to stay that way so far as they're up game 1, moving to Icebox game 2. Going to start with defense once again, and we are moving to the draft.
Okay.
What are you seeing from this draft, Evan?
So, I don't know anymore because they just swapped
They
to.
keep switching up.
They're switching to Neon Yoru, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Bab gets picked, so that's.
What is happening?
So UNT is running what is considered to be the meta comp right now.
Yes.
It's info, initiator. They actually don't run blinds on this comp, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
It's basically just flank watch with KJ, double wall with Bab and Akeo, or Viper and Harbor. So you can fake a site and still have util left to take the other site. And then just classic. I mean, you can swap Jet for Raze and just it's just your primary entry. I have no idea what's happening. With GCU.
Yeah.
If custom games could allow you to play replication and you run all neon, I would love to see how it would work.
I mean, I'm sure UNT might.
I think it could potentially be a third. If they do this, it could be 13-0.
For GCU, right?
Yeah, I mean probably. Who was it? There was a.
Okay, there we go. Now we have a normal team comp.
There was a pro. There was a pro team, or like not a pro team. It was a Game Changers team. I guess they're technically pro teams. Who they thought they were going into a ping test match, and they locked 5 duelists.
Almost running meta comp on GCU, except for Honey wants to be different.
Yeah, the Sage isn't a bad pick. It just allows you to push into B site.
Yeah.
And kind of keep yourself safe as you're planting. But yeah, they accidentally ran 5 duelists, and then it was an official match, and they were confused, and they're like, "Well, we can't restart. We told you it was an official match." They won. They 5 duelists won.
Wow.
A professional game map.
That is awesome. Again, thankfully, GCU Lavender was not
they're
allowed.
teleporting. They're teleporting.
Okay, so we're back. Wait, let's check that ping. Okay.
Wait, I think it might be. Wait, keep holding tab. I think it might be our observer that's lagging.
Okay, so it's not their fault. Weird.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing any ping spikes from the players themselves.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, they're relatively normal.
Oh no, it is. It's just not actually.
Well, it'll look a little weird.
We'll give it a second. This was doing this last time too. Like we saw, and then it kind of fixed itself as we go through. Oh yeah, Hakosuka has 3,000 ping. There it goes.
Then 3,000, then 1,000, but now 26. So I mean, hey, back to normal. 270.
And that's what I was mentioning earlier. Like the GCU Wi-Fi right now just kind of hates Riot servers and is like, no, you don't get to play the game.
You guys get it. You're a university. We're a university. We all have university Wi-Fi here. I mean, there's nothing to point fingers at.
I don't know. The GCU Arena is running its own server tower, so I feel like there's definitely a finger to point.
Okay, touche.
Like if our PCs were running on Lopes Wi-Fi, I don't think this university. I don't think the university Wi-Fi could function.
Yeah,
I don't think that you could have 74 PCs running on a school Wi-Fi.
I don't even
have it actively.
I don't even think you could have those 5.
No.
Yeah, I was like.
I mean, the whole reason our Wi-Fi is crap right now is because our housing just started back up.
Oh yeah.
And there's like 9,000.
But that shouldn't affect ours, no?
You would think.
Yeah.
you would absolutely think. But for some reason, whenever the foot traffic on our Lopes Wi-Fi starts back up, everything crashes.
Who in the esports arena is using their paid PC hours to sign up for housing? Oh. That's a new kind of blind I haven't seen. Looks like they snuck some updates in on us right now. They said we are lagging so bad. I don't know if we could do anything about it.
This is
NT must be like when you going through the thunderstorm and your ping is like 10 times better than the opponent's.
We're just watching Sage walk around and then like just get jumped back to standing in front of Jelly.
Like, go golfing after this instead. I don't know.
I can't. And I don't
Shoot some hoops.
Yeah, I don't even know if. Oh wait, somebody DC'd.
Triple spiked at 150. I mean, that does not surprise me. The timer has not progressed at all in a minute.
I think
Look at them just
I think
bouncing all over
Hakosuka
the map.
DC'd as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll. I'm assuming they'll just wait for him to get back in. Hopefully, I don't. Oh, there goes Hakosuka. I don't actually know who DC. Oh, it might have been Tiana that DC'd the first time.
Yep.
So we're now down to 2 Lavender players.
You know what? I think they can play the 2v5.
Yeah.
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 I think they've shown they've got the gumption, they've got the chutzpah, the elbow grease, if you
Chutzpah
will.
is such a good word.
I'm saying.
I don't.
I'm pulling out all the stops to fill this spit time.
That's like a Shakespearean word that like
yeah.
for no reason whatsoever should actually be brought back to modern times. 'Cause it's just like what is the actual definition of chutzpah?
It means kind of the same thing as gumption.
What's the official definition of gumption?
It's like the official definition of elbow grease.
Shrewd or spirited initiative and resourcefulness.
And chutzpah is spelled Chutzpah. I'm pretty sure.
That's got to be Russian.
Pretty sure I'm actually pretty sure it's a Hebrew word.
Extreme self-confidence or audacity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's initiative and confidence, basically.
And elbow grease.
And all you need.
It always comes
all
back
you
to
need
that.
is chutzpah, gumption, and a little bit of elbow grease.
Yeah. And then you can play the 2v5 against the undefeated team that might be 13-0 after tonight.
True. After 13 rounds potentially.
Yeah.
If this goes the way. If this goes the way that UNT wants it to.
I mean, like I said, Lavender took 5 last time. I don't see them taking 5 with 2 players and 3,000 ping, but
I mean, I feel like if they're going to do it
But-
anyway, that's the easiest way to do it. You swing a corner, you get all the info you need in the world,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
just get teleported back behind the corner before
True.
the enemy team sees you. You're just like, it's like somebody PC checker, she's hacking. Nope, I'm just lagging.
That's true.
They're having a full-blown conversation.
Someone said something about hot dogs. I went to maybe one of the best BBQ places I've ever had in my life while
What
I
was
was in
it called?
Minnesota. It was while I was in Minnesota. I don't remember.
This is the best you've ever had, and you don't even remember the name?
I know,
Who
right?
cares if it's in Minnesota? I'd go back to it.
Touche. Well, that's the thing. It was one of those like it wasn't like a chain or a restaurant. It was literally like a
like a
walk
family
in and they just here's your
It
pulled
looks like a
pork.
saloon from the 1960s.
Here's your pulled pork. Here's your can of soda. And one of my friends got two plain hot dogs.
I would
Dry glizzy, no bev.
I would walk out of there. I would unfriend them immediately.
Yeah, we tried, but I think we all agree that he has enough charm that we can forgive the dry glizzy no bev at a really yummy.
I'm just enjoying
place.
watching Sage teleport.
Yeah. They said we're just gonna play with the lag. Okay.
So they're gonna test it.
I mean,
They may just feel like it's
sure.
not gonna go any better, so they're just gonna try it.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like at this point, I mean, not to be a Debbie Downer, but
Yeah, you lose 13-5.
2-12.
Oh yeah, AKO just went halfway across the map for us. That's cool.
Yes. Again, it looks like we're
I
We're
think our
pinging about
observer
as
has
bad.
a little bit of it as well.
yeah. It's like it looks like
since
we're
they're
lagging
on-
about as bad as our players. So
Since they're on the Lopes Wi-Fi, I think
we're cooked.
we're cooked just a little bit. Yeah.
Again,
Oh,
those,
the
again,
the
those new
gun
blinds
in-
coming in.
The gun into the cascade wall. That's a crazy ability. Yeah, and that's that wall I was talking about.
Again, we're seeing blinds and utils that have never been explored in Valorant before.
Yeah,
It's a
just from
comp
the
meta like
glitching.
we've never seen. Every character has TPs now.
One enemy remaining.
See what I'm saying? That's
That
goated.
was the craziest
goated.
jelly flick I've ever seen in my life.
We have to remind all the parents at home, Jelly is not cheating.
Oh my goodness.
It just looks that way.
Lilac moonwalking.
Did you see? What is? You saw the defuse. I saw the defuse bar stuck at about like 70 or 80% for a solid like 5 seconds, and then the entire screen went blurred. Again, guys, I promise this is not a glitch. It's just that classic Lopes Wi-Fi.
Okay, I was like, I can't tell. Oh my goodness, it's so bad.
So, this is definitely one of the most competitive and exciting games I've ever had the pleasure of casting. I mean, we are already seeing very tight rounds, you know, 5-2 lead, nothing that Lavender can't come back from. Even on 3,000 ping, they are playing ahead of it. I mean, those actually might have been the only 2 functional players on Lavender's team right now, and now they're down to 1. So I can't even.
Hakusuka's actually just DC'd.
Yeah, she was just chilling in spawn. I mean, hey, if you think about it, that can stall the round a little bit longer, because now NT's got to walk all the way over there.
I don't think it makes that big of a difference.
It definitely only gets you like a couple seconds of time. It will be fun when they're on offense. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they are on offense. Never mind. My bad. Oh, right. I was like, you just plant the spike and then run away. You know what I'm saying?
They have to get to the point where they can plant the spike first, though.
Touche. Which right now, outlook not so good, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't even have to shake an 8-ball to tell you that.
Yeah, this is something different. Hakusuka still is AFK in spawn. I think she might have DC'd.
She should.
Oh yeah, she DC'd. We're still tight
Hey,
paused again.
tell her to come over and hop on comms. I can take a load off. Say like, hey, you're not up to
hey,
much.
I know you're playing a game right now, but
you're not really. Like, come on.
But what's going on?
Like, what's your?
How you guys feeling?
Commentating there is nothing. Trust me, there's nothing. There is nothing like commentating your own sets. Trust me.
Oh my goodness! No. It's like we get through the entire round. She comes back over. She's like, "Oh yeah, that round ended like 20 minutes ago." We're like, what? I don't. It is Yeah, we're still. I mean, it's still just tech. I think they're gonna try and wait out the lag a little bit. But
I mean, I'm sure NT's not that annoyed, because I mean, like other teams, if they're like playing for something really tight, if they're in like really tight standing right now, they might be like, hey, kind of holding me up here. But NT, it's like, come on, guys, you're at 12 now.
No, and they're.
I'm sure they're being good sports about it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's technically a rule that.
I should check the chat.
Like.
What were you saying?
Like that chat?
No, I meant you live chat.
Oh, live chat.
I was like, hey, anyone in there?
3-minute delay.
I say we're not supposed to because there's the delay, but I feel like at this point, you know.
There's not a lot has happened in 3 minutes. I mean, they're back to playing the game.
I mean, chats at 3-minute delay. Our players are at 3-minute delay. Like, come on.
That's true. 30,000 ping later. What's even funnier is like the North Texas players are lagging for us, but I don't think they're lagging for them. Tiana got a kill! Holy! Oh wait, we don't know what's happening. Oh, Serial got one, Bab got one. Let's go get the moonwalk. It's so funny. I genuinely thought she wanted.
I say, hey, undetected, undetected. Am I right? It's so funny. NT just left her. They literally just left her.
I genuinely thought she was walking through the wall, and then I realized that she just kept
sliding,
going.
Yeah. Moonwalking.
Wait, they won a round! Yes!
This is, I think, the earliest round they've won all set.
Yeah, I think that's true. Wait, how did Akayo's kill show up? What the heck? Wait, is Smalley AFK now? Oh no, we're clear. Holy. This is really funny. I've never gotten to cast a 1,000 ping game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is usually the time where I would be like, okay, now the GCU takes around so early, maybe they'll be able to swing this momentum, bring it to a tie game. Now I'm kind of just like, there is certain kinds of swinging and certain kinds of momentum, but I don't think any of it is under Lavender's control.
The thing I don't know is only our observer lagging, or is everybody lagging? Because that's what we can't tell. We don't know if the GCU team is back to normal.
Is that right?
Because we could because they're on different Wi-Fi, we could be lagging and they could be fine.
It's times like these where now I'm just their ping.
Their ping is fine.
It's times like these where now I'm wondering, are we supposed to cut the stream? Should probably ask, right? That's probably a good question.
Last player standing.
The trades come through and it's North Texas gets
NT's
around.
win.
Yeah, this is
not a lot to say about that.
I could have commented over that if we didn't have the RGB the newscast like the broadcast crash bars, like we weren't watching that every so often.
I opened up chat. Actually, just because I was trying to send the stream to someone else, and there's one chat who just said, "Let's go, serial killer! About to be 12-1, baby. Easy win for GCU Lavender." And I'd just like to say, so true. Moonwalking yet again from Lilac.
Jilly gets
exciting
a knife
new
kill, Tiana
tech.
gets a kill
Exciting
onto
new
the
tech
knife.
we haven't really seen until this very game.
Yeah, this is
moonwalking.
Yeah, this is actually unreleased Valorant gameplay coming in season. Episode.
Not unreleased. It's just undiscovered tech.
Yeah, so
I think they're playing a normal game.
That whole round happened in the middle of a character transition.
I think they're playing a normal game.
They are in fact playing an actual game. Their ping is not a problem. This is just the observer.
This
Wi-Fi.
look and sound is like the death screen in a different type of game.
Oh, so observer PC crashed. We'll try and relog. Hopefully we can relog.
Awesome. Well,
we'll talk for a bit while we
guys.
try and figure that out. Hopefully we get it figured out. Otherwise, we may just have to
call it, I guess.
go to a break for a little bit while we try and get it figured out.
All right, guys, we're going to go to a 3-hour break on the clock.
Yeah, while we try and get this figured out, we're going to go to a quick 3-minute break. We'll get the game back up and running. We will try and relaunch, try and relog into the game, and we'll be back to you in just a few minutes.
All right, peace out. Welcome back, everybody.
We're
We
back.
fixed the problem. We're going to go right into the game because they're still playing.
It is currently 5-2 to North Texas.
Hey,
Tiana's kind of popping off a little bit.
GCU with 2 dubs.
I will say this now. I gave them a challenge before these games started. I said they need to get 7 rounds between all the games that they play. They have met that goal.
Nice.
The Observer PC is in fact running off of my hotspot right now.
So just hope that doesn't also crash. But
it shouldn't, and I have unlimited. So the only thing is if it dies.
You should run. Spike down B.
I'm going to be able to get a nice pick on the.
Here.
Oh, that was almost really funny.
All right, Lavender at only 2 agents left. This is going to be rough. And there goes 1, there goes 2, and NT takes another round, 6-2. All right, folks. And there's a timeout.
Oh, timeout. Ta-da!
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Now I can't really wax poetic about the status of the game at this point and why we're going into this timeout because I haven't seen those games. So it's pretty much the classic of just like, we're down. Now is a good time to break momentum.
Yep, just cut it. I wish I would have seen what they did to get that second round, because then I could talk. Because realistically,
we barely saw what they could get for the first round. So I mean,
that's true. I mean, we did see. I mean, it was round 3, so they got their bye round, which I think is what happened in first game too. Yeah. So that second round that they win is really when we figure out like what they're doing to actually get rounds.
Yeah.
It's still 6-2, so I mean, it's still a playable game. It's just going to be, I guess, if North Texas is able to get like these next 2 rounds, these next 3 rounds potentially, it could very well turn into just North Texas takes this.
It is absolutely a playable game, Evan, and thanks to you, a watchable game. Here we go into round 9.
Here.
Nice, those little zip lines zipping around. All right, let's just see which site they're going to favor this time. Again, I haven't really seen the pattern so far, but I think we're going to start seeing them develop
with their
now.
comp. They should be fading more towards B side in general, just because Sage Wall, it's playable on A. It just kind of isn't as good. Unable to get a kill or a trade rather onto Akeo.
Spike down, attacker spawn. 1 enemy remaining.
Jelly pushing way out, able to find 1, not able to find a second. The Smaller gets that trade. Oh, a great headshot. Another great kill by Swallow. In a 1v1 now, but Bomb is down on this B side and has to play very cautious.
Ooh.
The timing could be insane here if the kill comes through, and it doesn't. And North Texas is able to find their 7th in this match.
Act on my intel. Don't give them time to reposition.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I think that was just really good play from Smallers, just avoiding the Viper Molly, but feeling confident enough to swing out as the util gets used to find the first and then the second. That's the kind of weird behavior that really is going to define whether or not GCU Lavender is able to find these rounds or not. So hopefully they start kind of looking for more of those scenarios where they can do funky stuff that isn't common, at least in the higher lobbies.
And I mean, hey, if they do find one more round, they will exceed your bet.
They do. They have to. If they get one more round, they win. They win in my heart. It's really bad. Not able to find this.
Okay.
Actually,
That's actually
I didn't even realize
honestly,
that Lilac was behind.
Yeah, Hakusuka taking 2 picks there. Honestly, a pretty half decent trade.
You will not kill my ally.
Oh, and a big res comes through. That's actually
yeah.
massive, putting them at a numbers advantage.
Like I said, that numbers advantage is everything. Even just by 1 agent only has made it so much more positive when they're in these kind of scenarios.
Now they're gonna start swinging towards this A site. Akea or Bab actually on
Eb. Barbara.
Hopefully they full clear. Akasuka's gonna get taken out early. The dart gonna find it in prison. And that is just Bab's just gonna be able to escape from free as Sage finds the second, finds the third.
All right.
Or finds the third in that fight, fourth on the round.
Yeah, looking like it's gonna be NT's round to take. More than enough time to defuse.
Yep. Akeo's still on the other side of the map. No biggie.
Like you said, they have enough trust in each other that they know they kind of don't need to scramble until the spike is getting really down to it. Before it's planted, there's essentially no reason for them to scramble over. Because then you get with those over rotates, which GC would have been able to exploit.
Yeah, and I think at this point, North and with the timeout already being used, it's really just going to be, I have a feeling North Texas probably takes these next 2 rounds going into the half. And then, was it 10-2? I can see Lavender getting 1, maybe 2 on defense, but I think North Texas just has a better attacking comp on this map. That is just going to be tough for them to find these picks.
Found them. Alarm bot down. Placing
All right.
Swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. Placing swarm grenade.
Just every util in the book.
I don't know. Interesting molly from Bab there. Lilac still has lockdown on mid. Oh, but now the fight is actually going to come through on A.
Yeah.
Bab's going to find 1, going to find 2. Not going to find a third, but now Lavender is down a player.
But they are now planting the spike. Let's see if they can hold it down.
Find 1.
4v2 is definitely a tough match, especially as they are already
Serial
getting
Killer
mowed
finding
down.
2 though.
Serial Killer, again, the MVP for GCU Lavender so far.
Yeah, but Defender, Killjoy down, Operator in hand, and height being taken. It's just another round to North Texas as they look to solidify really this match.
Thank you. Okay, now we sigh with relief.
Last round in the half.
So no, treat yourself to something nice while you still can.
Oh, last. Lavender, at least they did their economy right. Full buy on the last round. Akeo going to early peek down this B long lane. GCU knows the operator's in hand. Gonna risk going mid to try and avoid it. Not a bad play from them. Just risky if Akeo were to be sitting in mid here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
They're using these these
Go
hot new
early.
blinds now again.
Uh-oh. Oh, he DC'd again.
There goes. All right. Well, I'm sure the match will be progressing about at the same pace that it's been so far. Here we're back, actually. Wow. Still 9-2 in favor of NT. Though they are currently down an agent right now.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Akeo was scoped in there. It just didn't show it for us.
Yeah.
Because I thought for a second that was a no scope, but it was way too accurate and on the nose to be a no scope. So I think it did just happen.
Though that would be awesome.
One enemy remaining.
Bad finding Hakusuka.
Spike planted.
Honey's 1 HP on this wall. The reload and the death. 10-2 half for North Texas. 3 rounds before they take this match home.
Yeah, match point on the horizon already is not really what GCU wants to be seeing, especially because it means that they are not really keeping us up as much as they did last game. And to be honest, I kind of did expect it would start to swing this way.
Yeah.
Just because now NT has had more time to adapt to their play style, and maybe NT is just more comfortable on Icebox. I feel like that's definitely something that has panned out in these past few weeks.
So Icebox is actually one of their more favorite picks.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're just more comfortable here.
I think this actually is their pick of this series.
Like I said, I feel like every other week that they play, I see them here all the time.
Yeah. But really, the problem here is North Texas more than likely takes these first two. In consistency with what we've seen happen in these last last three pistol rounds, GCU has to win their third, which, from what we've seen from North Texas, what more commonly happens is they have a really good second round buy-up, and that third round becomes difficult for GCU to win. They win it barely, but they need to win it confidently in this scenario, which could be very difficult. I'm assuming Jelly saw ahead there.
Or she just got a pretty good bang in the dark.
The whiffs are coming through. The push is in.
Just shots in the dark,
Yeah,
ringing out everywhere right
the
now.
trades are coming through though.
All right.
2v1, 1 HP. Akeo's behind.
And there it is. Yeah.
So that's the first.
2 more rounds. Yeah.
Now North Texas has a full buy, and they're gonna have good weapon rate. I was like, ideally they all buy actual weapons here.
It's pretty likely they take it to 12-2 before GCU Lavender has the chance to get their footing.
Yeah, because the only thing I'm seing, they're gonna.
Well, there's a
do
timeout.
Early
So.
timeout. Because they're thinking, their coach is thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If North Texas is able to take this round in an almost flawless fashion, flawless or maybe losing one
or two.
GCU goes into round 3 with a bye, but they're still up against weapons that have the capability of winning in round 3. Your Bulldog, your Guardian, both very viable weapons on a bonus round. Like Bab has the Sheriff right now. You wouldn't really want a Sheriff going into round 3. A Bulldog you would take going into round 3 without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
So I think right now what GCU is trying to figure out how to do is how to take as many guns away from this North Texas team as they can. If they win the round, that's absolutely phenomenal. But realistically, all they want to do is try and get maybe 2 or 3 picks here and there. Try and decrease the amount of guns that North Texas has going into round, what would that be, 15?
Thereabouts. 15. But for now, we have round 14 to worry about.
Might just be a fast dash. Yep. Jelly already on yellow. The wall goes down.
NT absolutely not looking to leave this up to chance.
That's 26 health. That is not going to be nice.
Pretty much 1 HP at that point.
Yeah, especially to a Guardian. Does 65 to the chest. Yeah, GC actually bought. Oh wait, they actually bought up this round. So if they do end up losing this round, it is nearly impossible for them to take this round. Honey actually finds that stinger kill from range.
Again, they keep being so close in these rounds, but I mean, I feel like the Spike has already lost so much time on it that even if they win this next gunfight, because it is even right now, even if they win this gunfight, I just don't think they have the time. Yeah,
that's it. And with the GCU buy-up, they're gonna be on a save, and that is pretty much game.
It's match point already, so yeah.
I mean, looking at the weapons that they can buy, I saw a Vandal, Bulldog, Guardian on UNT. Yeah, Sage buys Vandal. Lilac somehow got a Vandal? I don't know. But yeah, then it's Bulldogs and Spectres. Still, like, to the side of GCU, to give them credit, it's still not a bad buy. The Spectres are the things that you're worried about right now because you're just playing into a lot of angry, like, a very long list of angles. That's kind of why
they've been getting such a solid amount of picks every single round. It's just looking like they're not going to keep up, and that is already going to be curtains for GCU Lavender. I mean, already 3-1. This is just not really a game state I see us coming back from.
Yeah, Serial Killer was on the B side just in case they chose to not go A. But in that scenario, you're going to be 5-stack against 4-stack on the A side. Serial Killer is going to come in late onto this. I mean, it's even Attacker Killjoy going down. Going to be found out. Yep, and
yeah,
with that, Serial Killer's basically got to get these 3 kills in the next 5 seconds, or it is pretty much over.
Yeah, with a ticking clock and no teammates at her side, even though Serial Killer has been such an MVP throughout tonight, it is not going to look like this is a winnable game state, especially insult to injury. About, like, not, yeah.
And
that's
with
game.
that, University of North Texas solidifies their run in the second inaugural Purple Rain series, going 13-0 over a 7-week game.
Wow, remaining undefeated throughout all of those rounds.
Yeah, I think losing, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they lost a map.
Yeah.
I think they 2-0'd every single team that they've played.
I thought there was one.
They might have lost a map to UW.
Yeah.
When they played UW. Still winning.
Either way, almost never losing a map. Maybe never losing a map at all, and never losing a set. That is a very impressive showing from NT, not only tonight, but in this series in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think Carleton went undefeated last season when they played. I think they lost one game to UCSD going into that, ended up winning in. With that, unless Mizzou loses their matchup tonight, because I'm not entirely sure who they play, GCU is officially knocked out of the playoff contention, unless Mizzou loses, in which case they'll have to play in.
Yes,
other than that,
very possible.
Playoffs is looking very exciting, though.
Oh, yeah.
You
already mentioned Carleton and UCSD are both pretty much guaranteed in. NT is
Carleton
guaranteed
in. Waterloo is the team that I'm curious about.
Yes.
North Texas guaranteed at 13-0.
Oh, yeah.
Waterloo guaranteed at 12-1, and then UCSD at 11-2.
Like you said, Waterloo nearly undefeated, if not for that one game
against University of North Texas.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're looking for as we go into playoffs starting on April 4th. When we go to those finals, are those two teams going to come back to meet each other in that grand final scenario? And if they're in that scenario, who becomes the victor?
Yeah, who comes out on top in that run back?
Yeah. But with that, we're done with the round robin series of the 2024 Purple Rain series. Be sure to be on the lookout for any other streams that we're running. We've got FFF, our final streamed FFF this Friday, and then we have
SSS also upcoming for the Smash events on April 13th.
13th.
So really we have a lot coming up in April, so make sure to stay tuned. Right now, we just want to make sure we give another shout out to Rockstar. Both GCU Esports and Purple Rain are powered by Rockstar. We could not be running this event and its prize pool without them. And the victor and winner of that prize pool will be decided very soon. Again, April 4th, to save the date, is at the beginning of the playoff period. And the end of the playoff period will not be soon after. Not be long after.
4th, so I think the 4th is quarterfinals, 5th is semifinals, 6th is winners losers finals, 7th is grand finals.
Yeah, so
be on the lookout.
Keep all of those dates saved on your calendar. If you've been enjoying this series so far, thank you very much.
And with that, I think we are pretty much done. Thank you all for a fantastic 7 weeks of Purple Rain Round Robin, and we will see you back on April 4th with our playoffs.
Peace out.